Snow White with the Red Hair. Season 1. Summary. In the kingdom of Tanbarun, there lived a young woman named Shirayuki. She wasn't royalty, nor was she famous for power or wealth. Instead, she was known for her radiant crimson hair, a rare color that glimmered like fresh roses in the sun. While others admired it, Shirayuki never let her appearance define her. She was a skilled herbalist, spending her days tending to plants, creating remedies, and helping the people of her town. But beauty often attracts unwanted eyes. The escape from Tanbarun. One day, word of Shirayuki's unusual hair reached Prince Raji, the spoiled and arrogant ruler of Tanbarun. Infatuated with the idea of possessing her as though she were a jewel, he demanded she become his concubine. His order was absolute, few in the kingdom would dare refuse. But Shirayuki was not someone to be caged. Choosing freedom over comfort, she took a knife, cut off her long red hair, and left it behind as a message. She would not be owned. Then, with nothing but her courage and knowledge, she fled across the border into the neighboring kingdom of Clarines. Her journey was not easy. Alone in a foreign land, with danger looming behind her, Shirayuki's fate could have gone dark. Yet destiny had other plans. A fateful encounter. In the forest of Clarines, Shirayuki encountered a young man with bright eyes and a warm smile. His name was Zen, though she didn't yet know he was actually Zen Wistaria, the second prince of Clarines. When Shirayuki explained her situation, Zen listened without judgment. Unlike Prince Raji, who saw her hair as a possession, Zen admired her spirit and bravery. That very night, Raji's men tracked her down, bringing a poisoned apple meant to coerce her return. But Zen, fearless and protective, bit into it himself to prove her innocence and shield her from harm. It was a reckless act, but it revealed Zen's true nature. He was not a prince who hid behind power. He was a man who would fight for those he cared for. And for Shirayuki, this moment was the spark of something new. Trust. Building a life in Clarines. Shirayuki might have found protection under Zen's title, but she refused to rely on it. Determined to stand on her own, she applied to become a court herbalist. The challenge was steep. Royal officials doubted her, and some dismissed her as merely the red-haired girl favored by the prince. But Shirayuki met every obstacle with perseverance. She studied relentlessly, healed the sick with compassion, and proved her knowledge surpassed expectation. Slowly, her peers began to respect her, not for her looks, but for her skill and dedication. Meanwhile, Zen faced his own challenges. Though a prince, he disliked the rigid politics of the court. Nobles saw him as reckless, preferring he act with the stiffness of tradition. Yet Zen sought a different path, one where trust and kindness shaped leadership. With Shirayuki beside him, he felt more certain of this dream. She wasn't intimidated by his title. She saw him as Zen, not as His Highness. And that, more than anything, gave him strength. Trials and threats. Life in Clarines was far from peaceful. Zen's loyal companions, Mitsuhide and Kiki, initially questioned Shirayuki's closeness to the prince. They worried she might be another who saw him as a means to power. But watching her endure hardships, face kidnappers head-on, and devote herself to her work, they grew to respect her deeply. One of the gravest dangers came when Shirayuki was abducted by mercenaries intent on selling her rare hair. For many, such a situation would end in despair. But Shirayuki's courage never wavered. She resisted, buying time until Zen arrived, sword in hand, to rescue her. Together they escaped, both realizing their bond had grown even stronger. Zen, too, endured constant reminders of his duty. Whispers filled the palace, that a prince should not be so close to a commoner, that marriage must serve politics, not love. Yet Zen's heart remained firm. He didn't view Shirayuki as a burden. He saw her as the very reason he wanted to be a better leader. And whenever Shirayuki doubted her place, Zen reassured her gently but firmly. "I want you here, by my side." A romance in bloom. Their relationship blossomed not with grand declarations, but with quiet moments that carried weight. Late-night conversations in the courtyard, smiles shared across busy days, trust offered without hesitation. These became the foundation of their love. When Zen was overwhelmed by his royal duties, Shirayuki's presence steadied him. When Shirayuki felt the weight of being the girl with red hair, Zen reminded her that her worth lay in her heart and choices, not in her appearance. And through this, their love grew, patient, tender, and unshakable. Around them, friendships bloomed too. Mitsuhide and Kiki became not only Zen's protectors, but also Shirayuki's allies. Then came Obi, a quick-witted fighter assigned to guard her. At first, Obi teased her endlessly, his motives unclear. But over time, he grew fiercely loyal, protecting her at every turn. Quietly, he even began to feel something deeper for Shirayuki, but he respected her happiness with Zen too much to disrupt it. Instead, he vowed to be her shield in the shadows. Defying expectations. The tension reached its peak when Shirayuki attended a royal gathering. Nobles whispered cruelly, mocking her presence beside the prince. But Zen didn't hesitate. He strode across the hall, took Shirayuki's hand, and declared openly that she was special to him. In that moment, every noble saw it. Zen had chosen her, not for politics, but for love. And Shirayuki, though nervous, stood proudly at his side. Yet both knew this was only the beginning. Their future would be filled with scrutiny, opposition, and challenges. But neither backed down. Shirayuki had chosen this path, and Zen had chosen her. The season's end, a new beginning. By the end of Season 1, Shirayuki had secured her place as a respected court herbalist. No longer was she simply the girl fleeing from a selfish prince. She was Shirayuki, strong, compassionate, and free. And Zen, though burdened by duty, had grown more certain than ever. He didn't want a life dictated by politics or tradition. He wanted Shirayuki. Together they looked ahead to an uncertain but hopeful future. Theirs was a love not of fairy tale perfection, but of quiet determination, the kind that grows stronger with every challenge. And so the girl with red hair and the prince who chose kindness began a journey side by side, ready to face whatever fate had in store. Final thoughts on Season 1, Snow White with the Red Hair. Season 1 is a fairy tale retold with realism and heart. It isn't about a damsel rescued by a prince. It's about a girl who refuses to be defined by beauty, a prince who chooses compassion over politics, and a love that blossoms through trust, patience, and courage. It's emotional, romantic, and filled with warmth. Proof that sometimes the bravest act is simply to follow your heart.